After she died, she was reborn as a character in a novel. In the book, her husband was unfaithful. She immediately demanded a divorce. Unexpectedly, her husband refused and began to pay more attention to her than ever. Liana was already dead for a long time. When she opened her eyes again, it was a chaotic heat. She was actually pressed up against a man, and shamelessly, she had kissed him. The man, of course, resisted. He looked at her with eyes as cold as knives, slicing her apart. Yet, his cheeks were unnaturally flushed. His body temperature was as if he had been steamed. All around them was misty with heat, and between the two of them, there were only 2 words to describe it, completely nothing between them. This thrilling? Liana thought to herself, I'm already dead, how can I still be enjoying this? Before she could react further, someone barged in. In an instant, chaos ensued. Countless eyes were watching the show. She and he, like a circus performance. Liana, how could you do something so low? How could you even steal your sister's man? Look at the foolish thing you've done. Watch me beat you to death. The most agitated one was her mother. She was so angry that she grabbed her younger daughter's hair and yanked it viciously. The pain made Liana's head feel like it was splitting open. In her daze, she fully understood, I've transmigrated into a book. Into the novel, The Heiress, I Want You, a book written by her rival. She had become the canon fodder side character, with the same name as hers. And this was the famous scene where she was caught in bed. Yes, caught in the bed of her future brother-in-law. Her mother, furious and ready to beat her daughter, was stopped by the older daughter, Gabrielle. Mom, calm down, there must be some misunderstanding. Her sister must have her reasons for doing this. Let's hear her explain. Explain what? She's always stealing your things. And now she's even after your man. Her mother didn't even bother to ask, she just passed her judgment unilaterally. This remark also provoked another noblewoman nearby. Now her son was the one Liana being slept with. Normally elegant and dignified. She couldn't help but blurt out 3 words, what's the hell? When Mrs. Rocha heard this, she deeply regretted it and wailed, it's all my fault as a mother, spoiling you so much that you've become unruly. Today, I have to punish you as your mother. Mrs. Rocha gritted her teeth and slapped her daughter's beautiful face hard. Gabrielle pleaded for her sister, Mom, she's your most beloved youngest daughter, how could you bear to hit her? Mom, don't get worked up. She's still young and naive. Whatever it is, we'll talk about it at home. To the onlookers, even at this point, she was still protecting her little sister, but in reality, she didn't actually stop their mother. Instead, she was secretly laughing inside, hit her hard. Yet no one expected that Liana would catch her mother's slap squarely. And effortlessly, she pushed her mother away. How can you, as a mother, hit your own daughter without asking for the facts first? Mrs. Rocha was stunned. What else is there to explain? You've been obsessed with Alex for so long, and now you want to steal your sister's man again. Aren't you tired of this? Every day, it's all about how I steal from my sister. Do you even know why I'm doing it? Mrs. Rocha stood there dumbfounded. Was this still her timid, stuttering little daughter? The crowd was equally shocked. Liana, the one who was supposed to be guilty, didn't show a single trace of shame. Could it be that after sleeping with the Mr. Flynn, she now had more confidence? Seeing her daughter dare to speak to her like this, Mrs. Rocha began to lament. Why would this fate befall me? How did I raise such an ungrateful daughter? Mom, don't cry, she didn't mean to upset you. Gabrielle quickly consoled her. As for this display of affection between the mother and daughter, Liana sneered inwardly. Stop acting, I know the whole plot. Alex, the elder sister, was the novel's female lead, Gabrielle, while she was the younger sister, Liana. Since childhood, Liana had nothing but beauty, always stealing her sister's things, which earned her a notorious reputation among the wealthy families. The turning point came when Liana climbed into bed and stole her sister's fiancé, successfully marrying Alex. She thought she could live a blissful life with her wealthy husband, but he never returned home, and after 300 days, he fell hopelessly in love with her sister, Gabrielle, and asked for a divorce. In the end, Liana couldn't bear the pain of abandonment and chose to end her life by slitting her wrists, exiting the stage for good. It all sounded like she brought it on herself. But the truth was, Liana had been neglected at home since childhood, using only what her sister discarded, yet still being accused of stealing from her. Even climbing into bed had been her sister's idea. After finally marrying Alex, her sister had encouraged her to keep making trouble, leading the Flynn family and Alex to despise her completely. At the same time, her sister had relentlessly seduced Alex, making him fall madly in love with her. She wanted nothing more than for her sister to lose everything. In the novel, the younger sister, despite her overwhelming beauty, was still foolish enough to be universally hated, serving as a foil to her older sister, the female lead. Now, the real question was, she had transmigrated into the story. Coincidentally, her real-life situation was not so different from Ileana's. Betrayed by her closest family, all her efforts turned to ashes. In the end, she suffered a mental breakdown and ended her life. But if Liana were given another chance to start over, she would definitely make sure those who wronged her would pay. She would take back everything that rightfully belonged to her.